I am so tired of you acting like you speak for the people of the state of Indiana or the city of Indianapolis. You do not speak for me or anyone I know. Now listen, you two jerks. Jerks on the right.
Hey, everybody. Good morning. Happy Monday. Oh, goodness. Oh, I'm going to close out of steps. I feel like my connection's going to be bad if I don't do that. You guys, let me tell you what is going on today. Coming up on the show, the DNC's new leadership is a gift to the GOP. It's an absolute gift on a platter. Trade war with Canada coming in hot. We're talking about that. And also Grammy hullabaloo. The Grammys were last night.
Just a little. We're not going to belabor and do a lot about the Grammys because who cares? I didn't even know they were on until this morning.
I didn't know they were on until my daughter came in and told me, "Oh my gosh, Mom, did you see the Beyonce won?" Blah. And I was like, geez, the Grammys are on. We have to talk about that tomorrow. Okay. So we're going to talk about that just a little bit. All that and so much more coming up on today's show. You guys can reach us, see us, enjoy us on all the platforms, chicksontheright.com/links.
Links.
I'm doing the best I can to not cough in your face this morning. Still getting over that flu thing. It's like the residual. It's the worst part. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because
like
then, I know. Because then you feel the drainage and it's like kind of gross.
Gross.
Yeah, I totally get it.
I'll do my best to not cough in your face. Yeah.
Marquita said to me, thanks so much for the tip on Silo. Because remember how I said we were watching Silo and we finished season 2 yesterday, which is that's all that there is so far. So good. So freaking good.
If you're not watching
that, you have to watch it. It's so good.
Okay. All right. We'll check it
out.
All
right. I didn't know I was even going to say that this morning. This is going to be a fun show. I think it's going to be a fun show because there's fun things to talk about today.
Good.
It's like, remember how last week there was all this tragedy and so we had to talk about it and that's not fun at all. But today it's just like, it seems like the news is just kind of fun. Oh, I'm sorry. Silo is on Apple TV. So that's where you can find Silo.
Okay.
First and foremost, before we even get to any kind of screenshots or videos or anything, Chuck Todd, no longer at NBC. He is doing a podcast.
All these people, I can't. Like it's hard to do a podcast? I mean,
right. They're all doing their little, who are the people that are genuine followers of Chuck Todd? Like they look to him to be, I don't know, entertained and informed. Who are
they're like,
people?
I'm going to listen to that podcast every day. He seems like a good person to listen to. He has pubic hair on his face.
I just don't understand how those people exist, but I mean, I'm sure they do, right?
Yeah,
like they must.
It's kind of irritating. I mean, I'm irritated because we're podcasters. We did broadcasting. We went into podcasting and it's like, we've been doing this for a while. And then they're like, now that they've been basically pushed out of the broadcasting realm, we weren't pushed out. We did it voluntarily. We were like, we're going to go ahead and do podcasting because we really like that medium better. And so we're going to do that. We enjoyed radio. And then we were like, okay, we're going to do podcasting. They were pushed out and then they're like it's almost as if they're like, it's a second choice for them. And that pisses me off. It pisses me off a little bit. Not going to lie.
Yeah. Cause it's sort of like their emergency backup plan.
Right. It's their contingency plan. It's like their consolation prize. And I don't like that. You know, it makes me, because it's not like that for us. We chose this because we really love it. And this is our chosen profession. And so they're like, well, I guess we could do podcasting.
As long as we can stay in everybody's face somehow.
right. It's because podcasting's not hard. I just get a little protective of the podcasting space because it's what we do. Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay, before we get to other things, let me just remind everybody about the amazing products that you can get at coatdefense.com. This by far is their flagship product, the preventative powder. It says like, this is the one for dogs and it talks about how it's good for odor. It's good for, just keeping their dog's skin not irritated, but it's good for so much more than that because it takes care of so many infections and irritations to dog skin that you end up going to the vet and spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars to fix, and you don't even need to. You can use this as a preventative or a treatment powder, especially if it's something that's caused by yeast. So if their toe beans get all crusty and they're chewing on them and they're itching in between, or their little bellies get red, this is the stuff. You can either sprinkle it on them and rub it in directly onto the dog themselves, or sprinkle it on their dog bed or wherever they like to lay around a lot. And they have stuff for cats, for horses, and for people. They have dog shampoo and also human shampoo, which does not strip the necessary oils from your scalp. That's what makes it the best stuff ever. They also have deodorants for people. They have all kinds of amazing products. You can check out the whole line at coatdefense.com. Just make sure to use code CHICKS when you check out, because that way you will get 15% off of your entire order at coatdefense.com.
I think Fred had some really great advice. I'm going to call out Fred Pauly. For cough, honey, and 8 shots of whiskey. It won't help. It won't help your cough, but you're not going to care. I think that's great advice. I'm going to take you up on that this afternoon. Yeah.
I'm sorry for those who live in winter infested places, but you're going to get 6 more weeks of it because the dang groundhog saw his stupid ass shadow. So I guess PETA was
cute.
I know, he's really cute. I guess PETA was petitioning to replace him altogether with a weather reveal vegan cake.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Even the governor, Josh Shapiro, was like, come and take it. PETA, that's not happening.
No, he's so cute. Did you guys notice that yesterday? I can't remember what channel it was. It's probably like AMC or whatever. One of those channels had Groundhog Day on all day yesterday.
Just on repeat?
Just on repeat. Yeah.
I love that.
I know. I do too. I love that movie. I love it.
Well, and I can't remember when Bill Murray did the Jeep commercial for Groundhog. I don't know if it's coming up for this Super Bowl because it feels familiar to me. So I don't think it's new. But if you guys, I mean, most people here have probably seen Groundhog Day. It's like one of the absolute classics. Right. But Bill Murray did a take on it for a Super Bowl ad. And here it is. It's for Jeep and it's amazing.
It's Groundhog Day! And don't forget your booties because it's cold here today.
Phil? Hey, Phil!
No, not you.
It's me, man! Ryerson!
Okay, little fella, good job. That's different. Good job.
Hey! He got the groundhog! Phil?
Hey, you're gonna freeze to death.
Who cares? See you tomorrow. Don't say your hair is too long. Safety first.
Yeah. He got the groundhog! Phil!
It's not personal. It's just a game. Not a bad day, huh?
It's super cute.
Oh, shoot.
We parked. I was following you.
He's so cute.
I love that so much.
I watched it again yesterday. Like bits and pieces. We just kept watching it over and over again. It was on all day. Mm-hmm. It was a cute movie.
It's so good. Point of personal privilege, if I may. This is Heart Month, which I did not even know. But we had a wonderful person email us who also has an Amplatzer device in her heart. And she asked a special favor of our community. And I could not resist because, as you know, in a couple weeks, it's Valentine's Day and it'll be year 3, my 3rd anniversary of not having a stroke.
That's right.
On Valentine's Day. And so from Penny Ray Lyon, she said February is American Heart Month. And she said she hopes that we pick this email out of the tons that we get. Her oldest granddaughter, 6.5 years old, is raising money for the American Heart Association. And it's called the Kids Heart Challenge. And Penny made her first donation. And 24 hours later, it was the only one on the donation page. I know. And so because she had also had a heart repair, procedure with the Amplatzer device at 47. She knows kids have heart issues too. So she asked us to share little Aria's QR code. She's got a goal of raising $1,000. She's got a long ways to go. And she thought, when she was thinking about who might help, she said, I thought of Mock and Daisy, two big-hearted chicks with a big-hearted audience. So if you are interested in helping little Aria out with her fundraiser, please scan the code that you see on your screen right now and feel free to help, or don't. We're not forcing anybody to do anything, but if you feel like you would like to help out, that would be amazing.
And instead of giving us money today, give her some money.
Yes, that would be amazing.
That.
So
yeah, that sweet little girl. Absolutely.
Hold up your phone, grab the little QR code while it's up here. I'm just going to leave it for a second so that everybody can grab it. Do you have it? If you don't have it, watch this later and rewind and make sure to grab the code for little Aria and help her with her fundraiser. It's all for a great cause.
God bless her.
I know. It's so sweet. Also, let's get an update on DOGE. My husband actually forwarded this from the official DOGE account. This is absolutely amazing. So from Elon, good morning, X. My experience with DOGE has been totally wild so far. I told you yesterday about the $600 million per year the Pentagon was spending on sushi. I just found another wild one. The Air Force was spending $1,280 per paper coffee cup.
Oh my God. Like literally the ones you find at the office, $1,280. What?
Per cup. We also found that $230,000 per month was being spent by the IRS on Starbucks cinnamon roast K-cups, but everyone was working from home.
What the hell?
Can you even?
I can.
God.
Because really, they're spending money, and then they're just like, we're just telling you what we're spending it on, but we're not really. It's all a bunch of bull crap, you guys. It's just a big bunch of crap. They lie. It is. It's like embezzlement. It is embezzlement. Yeah. Right. Money laundering.
It's such a complete scam. And thank God for him and for DOGE for uncovering it. He also talked about the progress that he's making. He said initially on January 30th, reducing the federal deficit from $2 trillion to $1 trillion in 2026 requires cutting an average of $4 billion a day in projected 2026 spending from now to September 30th. And then he followed up by saying, I'm cautiously optimistic that we'll reach the $4 billion a day reduction this weekend. He's got people working around the clock.
I think they can do it too. Think of all the bullshit that money is spent on, just like what he was talking about. I mean, we can't think. It's hard for us to just wrap our brains around that because we're like, we don't do that in our own households. You know,
right.
We don't. But the government does it. The government takes our money and they poop on it and they set it on fire.
They don't care because it's not theirs.
They don't care. They do it and they're laughing. They think it's great.
Oh my God. It's absolutely insane how they spend our money. Also, there was a Reddit thread from somebody at OPSEC who, like from the FBI, who was saying, please share. We've received word that Elon Musk's staffers are using space characters to identify info leakers. So before you leak, essentially, do this. Like they were actually openly discussing how to avoid getting caught leaking. And they had this whole Reddit discussion. There were people commenting, offering other bits of advice. And so Elon retweeted it saying, with regard to leakers, if in doubt, they are out.
Oh my God.
They are cleaning house, man. This is freaking crazy.
It is. It's madness.
I can't.
Yeah, I know, right? It's, oh my God. Your government, ladies and gentlemen.
I mean, thank goodness for Elon. Thank goodness for DOGE. And also, JD Vance gave folks a little bit of a vocabulary lesson on X the other day. And he said, memo to the press. When a president is elected by the people and then does what he promised to do, that's democracy. When a president is thwarted by unelected bureaucrats, that's oligarchy. President Trump refuses to bend the knee to that oligarchy. Buckle up.
Yes. It's nice that JD Vance can educate some people who don't understand words.
Especially members of the press. It's absolutely perfect.
And a lot of those people went to like Ivy League schools and whatnot. Bless their hearts. They're there.
They're there. Also, we did finally get an identification of that third pilot of the Black Hawk helicopter, which crashed into the jetliner last week, and it is Rebecca Lobach. She, according to her family and her history, she was certainly qualified. She had like 450 flying hours. There's no reason to think that she shouldn't have been flying the helicopter if she was in fact at the helm of it. Anyway, just I wanted to put this out there because I know there was a lot of chitter chatter last week about it being some trans person named Joe, and it was not. It was this woman, Rebecca. So now we know, and that is that.
Why did it take so long, though? Why did it take so long to get her name out there? I don't understand.
Well, allegedly, her family, it was out of respect to her family who didn't want the name released. But then when they finally released it, all of her social media had been scrubbed. So it's almost as if they wanted time to scrub it for reasons that we do not know. I don't know why they wanted it scrubbed.
That is really, it's interesting, isn't it?
It is a little, interesting.
A little sus.
It's a little sketch. But I'm not going to make any assumptions. We don't know anything about anything.
No, we don't know. We don't know why, but it is weird that they scrubbed her social. I don't, that's weird.
It's weird. Okay. It is a little bit weird. Also, Trump decided to do, I wanted to play this first. Actually, let me play this first. This is the coolest thing. So you know how we always talk about how when we fly, we hope that we have someone like Captain Sully?
We totally want Sully. Yeah.
So Sully's the best. I want Captain Sully to do like any of my medical procedures too. I always want my doctors to look like Captain Sully.
I want him to do basically anything that is of any importance in my life whatsoever. I want it to be Captain Sully.
Right. And so this isn't Captain Sully, but this was on a flight, an American Airlines flight that was about to leave. And some passenger on this flight recorded what the pilot said to the passengers when they were leaving. And it was shortly after that horrible crash last week. And I thought this is such a great thing for the pilot to say and do. What a nice gesture this was. Here
I'm fearful about flying, and that's certainly understandable. But just please know that my first officer and our flight attendants and myself place your safety and the responsibility of carrying you to Miami, to your families, your vacations, your meetings, at the highest level. I have no higher calling than carefully and professionally transporting you today. So with that, relax and enjoy the beautiful evening that we get to fly in. We'll be underway shortly. Welcome aboard.
God bless
that
him.
Was so nice, right?
That is nice. That is really, really nice. I know. Because I mean, I'm going to be flying, and then a lot of us are going to be flying in the next, several months, quite a bit.
Yeah. And everybody's on edge. And I thought that was
totally
such
on
a nice
edge
thing to do.
I just don't want to ever fly again.
I know, man. If there was just a way of like
just driving
doing the genie thing, you know what I mean? And just like transporting yourself wherever, that would be ideal. Unfortunately, we don't have that.
I know.
President Trump did a attack on ISIS terrorists. This was news. So this happened on Saturday. He said, "This morning I ordered precision military airstrikes on the senior ISIS attack planner and other terrorists he recruited and led in Somalia. These killers, who we found hiding in caves, threatened the U.S. and our allies. The strikes destroyed the caves they live in and killed many terrorists without in any way harming civilians. Our military has targeted this ISIS attack planner for years, but Biden and his cronies wouldn't act quickly enough to get the job done. I did. The message to ISIS and all others who would attack Americans is that we will find you and we will kill you."
It's so Liam Neeson. I will find you and I will kill you.
It's so great. I love it, man. I love it. Also, let me tell you what else I love. Taylor Soapworks. You guys.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Christy Taylor, who is an insider here, who's been a member of our audience forever, who was the very first ABS sponsor, American Business sponsor. She sent us the latest and greatest soaps. They are absolutely incredible. One of them is called Ranch Hand. This is the one for dudes. Oh my gosh. So this is the one that has, what is it? I want to say... This is black spruce, cypress, cedarwood, eucalyptus, lime, and geranium. And it's so duty. You know what I mean?
It's duty, you guys. It's duty.
It's so duty and like so masculine.
It is.
And then this one is called What She's Having, and peppermint and citrus. It is. I would never have chosen like a soap. If you'd have just shown me online, oh, there's this soap out there that smells like peppermint and citrus, I probably would have made a face and said that doesn't sound good. Oh,
It's amazing. Yeah. She has the greatest stuff. I should take it out and show you guys too. But
my gosh.
Keep going, Mott. Keep going.
Well, also lotion. You guys, they also have lotion. They have bath bombs. They have she does such an amazing job. Absolutely amazing job. And we just love it that she was our very first American Business Spotlight sponsor. So please support our audience. And of course, Christy is one of those people, from Christy Taylor from Taylor Soapworks. Get something for the gal or guy in your life for Valentine's. Valentine's is coming up in a couple weeks. TaylorSoapworks.com is the website. When you use code CHICKS, 20% off of non-sale items. 20% off non-sale, you guys. And her stuff it's the
awesome.
bomb.
Yeah.
It is amazing. TaylorSoapworks.com.
Speaking of bombs, she has bath bombs too, which are
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Also, speaking of stuff that Trump just got done that I didn't even realize was a thing that needed to be done. Did you know about American hostages in Venezuela?
I did not. And I saw this over the weekend too. And I was like, oh, okay. And then Richard Grenell's like, I'll go get them.
I mean, like,
okay.
Everything is getting done, man. It's week 2 and things are just like happening. So 6 Americans were released from Venezuela. This is after Rick Grenell met with Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro. And here's a photo with all of those 6 hostages. I mean, I had no idea that this was even a thing. That's how useless the last Administration was.
Totally. Oh, also, I'd like to point out that Richard Grenell is also gay. And Trump obviously hates gay people and wants to put them in camps. But
such a bigot. Such a bigot.
I mean, seriously.
I know, right?
Just stop it. Stop it, left. Yeah.
Last week also we gave an update on how many media requests the White House had received to be part of like the revolving chair in the White House press briefings. There were 7,400, I think, that we talked about last week, including us, because I know our team applied on our behalf. Now, as of Friday, it was over 10,000. And on Friday, the Ruthless podcast was one of the folks selected. They had one of their guys. Cool. Yeah, they had one of their guys in the White House press room on Friday. So that was really neat.
Did he get asked a question? Did he ask? Did he get?
Yeah,
he did.
Yeah.
He asked some questions. Yeah. Good.
He asked. Well, I think he asked one. I don't think there was more than one, but that was amazing. Like that was super great.
I'm kind of not surprised by that though, because they're sort of like in the Beltway.
Well, and they're there. I mean, they're like right there.
Right. They're Washington guys. So I kind of feel like, and they've been like buddy with the RNC. I can see where I can see where they would get picked.
Yep, for sure. Let's see. I don't even remember what I have next. So we're just going to find out together. Oh yeah. So in LA yesterday, like one of their main highways, the 101 freeway, completely blocked by these anti-ICE protesters that were swinging their Mexican flags all over the place. Absolutely insane. They totally stopped traffic in both directions. And it was a huge problem. Representative Mike Collins is planning on introducing legislation to make blocking a highway intentionally a federal crime, which is a fantastic idea.
Yes, it is.
Fantastic idea. But this went on for hours and it was so ridiculous. LAPD was trying to do what they could do, right? Well, as they were about to bust a bunch of people, Mayor Bass said, stand down. And so,
oh my gosh,
they just went home. And all these people got to do this all day without any arrests, no consequences. It's just infuriating how LA is run right now. My God.
It's not run. That's the whole point. Yeah. Nobody's running it. It's like the criminals are running the asylum. That's what's happening.
God.
And that is not okay.
It's just insane. She is such a fool. I can't believe they're not even moving to recall her at this point. Like they really need to, because Mayor Bass is just a stone cold moron.
Yep.
And then all these flag wavers, like what the hell, man? There was a guy that put out a TikTok that made the best point ever about those flag wavers. Here he is.
Imagine if I went to Africa and I wanted to live there, right? And all of a sudden, Africa wanted to deport me back to my homeland, the United States of America. And imagine if I went and I protested against Africa and I was lifting a United States of America flag in protest, saying I wanted to stay in Africa, but waving this flag from another country. How crazy would that look? How crazy would that be? That's exactly what's happening with people that are protesting right now in the United States. They're lifting up flags from different countries in protest of being deported back to those countries. Think about that.
Right.
How wild is that? If you love that country so much, why don't you go back over there? But let's be really honest. Instead of you sitting there lifting up that flag from another country, why don't you lift up the flag from the United States of America and say, hey, I want to stay here. I love this country. I appreciate this country. It's a blessing to live here. I don't want to go back to any other country. And you wonder why patriots and United States citizens like myself are fed up seeing this stuff. Because you're ungrateful. You don't appreciate the blessing it is to live in the United States of America. If you did, you wouldn't lift a flag of a foreign country that didn't do nothing for you.
It's damn straight. That is damn straight.
Right?
And why can't ICE just be like, oh, okay, we see them. We're going to go ahead and go in there. We're going to round them up, deport them. And I feel like this is just an easy task for ICE.
They were probably slightly overwhelmed because that was a massive, massive crowd. And of course, they don't get help from, sanctuary state. They're not going to get help from the folks on the ground. And obviously, Mayor Bass doesn't care if they face consequences. I mean, it's just such an effed up system.
Yep. But that guy's 100% correct. 100%.
Yeah. Totally right. I loved him.
Biatches, all of them.
Exactly. Okay, so just a little bit on the Grammys, mostly about a few of the fashion notes. But we will point out that Beyonce won Best Country Album.
So Best Country Album, not Best Country Artist, but Best Country Album.
I think
it was
so. I could be wrong.
I think it was Best Country Artist, wasn't it, you guys?
Was it?
I think it was, which is a complete travesty. Let's just get real. Come on. She was up against Chris Stapleton and what's her name? Who's the other one that oh God, she's so good. I love her. I actually
don't know
to her
country
music
at
a
all.
lot. Oh God, why am I spacing on her name? Like she was on Yellowstone. What's her name, you guys? Tell me her name. You guys will tell me her name. I love her. I listen to her music all the time.
It was Best Country Album. Lainey Wilson.
Lainey Wilson. Thank you. I love Lainey Wilson. She is country. Chris Stapleton is country. Lainey Wilson is like, she should have won. Lainey Wilson should have won it. Everybody knows Lainey Wilson should have won it. I mean, Chris Stapleton probably would have been like a close second, but Lainey Wilson, there's no question. She was robbed. Can you imagine being Lainey Wilson today and sitting in your hotel room going, what the hell just happened here?
I don't know Lainey Wilson, so I can't comment on that.
But
it's crazy. Like to me that Beyonce won. It's
but
crazy.
if you listen to country music, Mock, which if you know, like even a smidge about country music, you know that Lainey Wilson sings country music and it's good. And she's really good. I mean, she has good. But what Beyonce came out with was not country music.
I only know the one song. And I didn't mind it at first until it got overplayed so much. And then I just couldn't take it anymore. It was like a torture song. But maybe the rest of the album was great. I have no idea.
It's not great. It wasn't great.
It's not great.
And it's not great. It was awful. And this just shows you how stupid the Grammys are. Just how dumb.
Well, Beyonce in her acceptance speech she made the claim that the word genre is a way of keeping artists like her down.
Oh,
here's what she said.
The incredible country artist that accepted this album. We worked so hard on it. I think sometimes genre is a cold word to keep us in our place as artists. And
really,
I just want to encourage people to do what they're passionate.
Really? Okay. Tell that to Darius Rucker. Darius Rucker, he's a black man. Obviously, he's Hootie. You guys know Hootie. He's a country artist. I consider him to be very country. He's great. His music is great. Yes, he's a country artist now. He crossed over, I don't even know when, but he crossed over years ago. And he's great. He's great. He is a country artist, legit country artist. Beyonce is not.
She's cosplaying.
She is cosplaying. And
by the way, why is she culturally appropriating blonde hair?
Why is she? Why is she doing
that? Okay.
It's a great question, Mock. And it really pisses me off for the true country artists that especially like Lainey Wilson, who deserved to win that. I mean, she worked really hard and that sucks. It sucks. Everybody knows it sucks.
Well, there was also some crazy fashion that we need to point out, specifically from one particular family, and that is Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith's kids. Like, what? This was what their son wore, you guys. He's wearing a house on his head. What is happening?
These people, man, I swear. Like,
and like when you wear stuff like this, you have to make that face, that stone cold, like expressionless face.
This is art. I'm being serious.
This is why. What is the point of this? This is so stupid.
Well, the point is that he's a Nepo baby, and this is the only way he can get attention because he just can't get enough in his house. You know, his parents are too narcissistic and involved with themselves. So this is what happens to these kids, man. They're just lost. Like this.
Well, and his sister didn't do much better. I mean, she wasn't wearing a house, but she wasn't wearing much of anything, as you can see from this photo.
Like,
but also the close-ups of her. What is going on with her teeth? So she decided to do this weird thing with her teeth.
A grill.
Where, what?
Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah, they're just, these kids aren't normal. They're not, these aren't, and they look, listen, she's smiling there because I think she's smiling, but she's trying to show her teeth. But in every other picture, it's like she's posing, she's trying to get that narcissistic, like best shot, you know, and they're just so woefully unhappy. They look so unhappy, these kids.
I don't know, though, if they look as unhappy as Kanye's wife, who decided to just be naked. And we can't even show the uncensored version of her dress. It was just a sheer tank dress that was made of like, I don't even know what
mosquito netting is what it was.
Mosquito netting. Okay.
Yeah.
You guys, and he gives her this command and says, like, take your coat off, because she came with a coat. And then all of a sudden you see that this is her whole ass dress. That's it. What you're seeing right now is blurred out, because in actual life, which you can see on X, because X allows nudity, she's just totally naked.
Yeah, she's naked.
This is how she went to the Grammys. And I guess this is what Kanye does now.
She's complete. This is abuse.
It is. I mean, she looks terrified.
Yeah.
If you watch the video of it, like when he gives her the commands and then he's like staring at her nipples, it's just weird. The whole thing is so freaking weird.
Yeah, he's a loon. He's a complete loon. And this is an absolute abuse. I mean, she's taking it at this point.
Yeah.
Does she not have family that loves her? I would be, if I were like her sister or her mother, I would be like getting her the hell out of there.
Well, I did read something months ago that said her family's super upset about this relationship. God. Yeah, that he's completely controlling her, and
of course he is.
It's not. It's not okay.
I think it's obvious to anybody what's happening here.
Yeah, just yikes. Doubles, triple yikes on that.
Yep.
All right, so that's it. That's all we're going to talk about, and with respect to the Grammys, because nobody here cares about the Grammys. Again, we didn't even know they were on until this morning.
Grammys suck.
But before we go on, because we have to talk about all the tariffs with Canada and that whole fight, it is ramping up and it is getting ugly, you guys. We'll talk about that in just a second, but want to mention that there is a humongous mega sale happening at mypillow.com/chicks. There is free shipping on every single order. And let me just tell you about some of the sale items. This is super cool. So the 6-piece towel sets that we have been raving about for literal years, now less than $30 when you use code CHICKS for a 6-piece towel set. You can get flannel sheets for over 50% off right now. And you know that cross necklace that Mike Lindell wears all the time? He's now selling those.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, they're 30% off. It's designed just like the one that he has worn for 20 plus years. Sterling silver, anti-varnish, very fine jewelry. They've got a men's version and a women's version. So that's also, you can get that at mypillow.com/chicks. And again, free shipping on everything right now. So take advantage while the free shipping lasts. mypillow.com/chicks. Code CHICKS. Do it. So let's talk about tariffs. Trump was asked in the Oval Office on Friday if he has plans to tariff the EU. And here is what he said.
Well, you're asking me a question because I'm sure you didn't hear. Am I going to impose tariffs on the European Union? Do you want the truthful answer, or should I give you a political answer? Absolutely.
Oh, damn.
I love it.
Things are getting wild all up in here.
Yep. Mm-hmm. He doesn't.
Would you? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just saying he gives no craps.
He doesn't. And he's got some strategery happening all up in here. Read his tweet, if you would, about tariffs.
The tariff lobby, headed by the globalist and always wrong Wall Street Journal, is working hard to justify countries like Canada, Mexico, China, and too many others to name continue the decades-long ripoff of America, both with regard to trade, crime, and poisonous drugs that are allowed to so freely flow into America. Those days are over. The USA has major deficits with Canada, Mexico, and China, and almost all countries, owes $36 trillion, and we're not going to be the stupid country any longer. Make your product in the USA, and there are no tariffs. Why should the United States lose trillions of dollars in subsidizing other countries, and why should these other countries pay a small fraction of the cost of what USA citizens pay for drugs and pharmaceuticals, as an example? This will be the golden age of America. Will there be some pain? Yes, maybe, and maybe not. But we will make America great again, and it will all be worth the price that must be paid. We are a country that is now being run with common sense, and the results will be spectacular. I appreciate the fact that he actually said, will there be some pain? Yes, maybe, and maybe not. Because the people who are so anti this are like, we're going to have to, pay bigger prices, like higher prices, and he's going to put us in a lot of pain. It's like, well, what the hell do you think we've been dealing with for the past, however many decades that we've been getting ripped off? Like these people they're the non-risk takers.
Right.
And I am in the camp where I'm a risk taker. And so I'm all for this, because without a little bit of risk, you can't see change. That's how I feel about things. So I'm willing. I think this is great. I think it's great because of who I am as a person. Other people who don't like change, and they're just like, but no, it's scary. We may, it may not work out. What are we going to do? These are the same people. I don't want to like label people, but those are the same people who are never going to be entrepreneurs. They're never like, they're the ones who like stability so hard that they're like, no, it's fine for us to be $36 trillion in debt. That's fine.
It's fine for us to be doormats to the rest of the world.
Yeah.
Well, Trump is no doormat.
I'm not okay with that. I'm okay.
That's over.
I'm okay with a little bit of discomfort if it means that shit will change. I'm okay with that, because we need change. It's just
we need to actually be back to making money again, and not being like absolutely overloaded with debt and all, and paying money to these countries and putting ourselves in a worse position because of it. He's so America first. This is an America first policy. And I know a lot of people don't like it, but I think it's absolutely fantastic. One of the people, obviously, that does not like it is Justin Trudeau, who had this to say. It's almost like he found out about it when the reporter told him.
When did you first learn that President Trump intends to increase tariffs if Canada retaliates, and how has that changed your strategy?
I think Canadians understand that we need to respond to this. We need to respond in a way that is appropriate, that is measured but forceful, and that meets the moment. We're certainly not looking to escalate, but we will stand up for Canada, for Canadians, for Canadian jobs.
That was the most political answer I think I've ever heard.
Oh my God, right?
Uh-huh. It's like, that meets the moment. Okay, whatever, Justin.
Well, there are some folks in the Canadian government who are standing firm and saying all the things. And one of the things that they are doing, that they are proposing, is that Canada no longer purchase liquor from red states. So here's this fellow saying that this is exactly one of their strategic measures.
A strong Team Canada approach to stand up to Donald Trump. For our first of many steps, effective today, I have directed BC liquor sales to immediately stop buying American liquor from red states.
Okay, well
Oh my God.
That'll be interesting. You should try. And then Governor Abbott was like, hold my beer. Yeah.
I mean, this is crazy, but okay,
it's
you
stupid.
do that.
It's stupid. Yeah. Because Texas has the second largest GDP in the United States behind California. It's bigger than Canada's. So FAFO maybe?
This is going to be, I think they're talking tough right now, and that's fine. But you're going to hear why they're actually going to back down when it comes to oil specifically. There was a really, really great informative video that we'll play in just a second, which explains how much they need us and how little we need them. Here is the former Prime Minister of Canada, which her message to Americans is just cut it out, you guys. Just cut it out.
Americans have to understand how hurt and frankly how furious Canadians are.
Oh my
Our
gosh.
sovereignty is being challenged. And so, yeah, regular Canadians across the country are coming up with ways to stand for Canada, to fight for Canada, to defend Canada, but mostly to say to our American neighbors, guys, just cut it out. Just stop it. This is a terrible idea. And yes, we are going to use all the tools in our toolbox. You mentioned a little bit earlier how the United States depends on China for critical minerals and metals that you need for semiconductors, that you need to build electric vehicles. Well, guess who also produces those? Canada. You depend on us for a lot, and we are happy to work together, but it's got to be a two-way street.
Do we? I mean,
I'm sorry, she wasn't Prime Minister. She was just some parliamentary member.
She's like, let me tell you what this is about. Cut it out.
Cut it out. Cut it out, eh?
Cut it out. Yeah. It's just, yeah. And then Abbott came back talking about cotton. Because I live around cotton. Cotton's another one that they depend on. I mean, if you want shirts and stuff, it's just something to think about, like the cotton part of it. But it's fine. If they want to FA, they can FA and FO and all that kind of stuff. It's just going to be really interesting to watch. Again, I'm okay with the risk here. I'm fine with it.
Yeah, I think we all should be.
I'm good with it. I know that some people, if they get pushed, they get poked by that chick saying, cut it out. Then they're going to be like,
you heard her say ordinary Canadians are figuring out ways that they can stick it to us. And here's an example of that. There was this one woman who said, Canada is responding to the Trump tariffs. I'm doing my small part by canceling an upcoming trip to the US. I choose to support my country. And she canceled her Ramada by Wyndham stay in Florida to stick it to us, man. She got us so good. This is what they're doing, which that's fine. Listen, Canadians are absolutely entitled to be Canada first, just like we're entitled to be America first. So
Hannah's putting her foot down, you guys. She's saying, cut it out.
But I mean, the thing that's so crazy about this is that anybody in Canada is acting like this is some sort of attack or, something that is retaliatory in some way. I mean, this is so crazy. So JD Vance talked about this. All the people that have the sob story saying, they're our friend and how can we do this to our friend? He said, Mexico sends tons of fentanyl into our country. Canada has seen a massive increase in fentanyl trafficking across the border. There are 3 ways of stopping this. The first is to ask nicely, which we've done. It's gone nowhere. Now we're on to the consequences phase. And spare me the sob story about how Canada is our best friend. I love Canada. I have many Canadian friends, but is the government meeting their NATO target for military spending? Are they stopping the flow of drugs into our country? I am sick of being taken advantage of. He's absolutely right.
He is right. He's absolutely right. And that's the thing. So we're just doing what we have to do to not be taken advantage of. So
yeah,
it's not a bad thing. So when they say cut it out, it's like, well, then quit letting drugs come into our country and kill our people. How about you cut it out?
And pay your fair share and stop making us subsidize you.
Yeah. And that's the thing. When liberals will scream that and they'll say, pay your fair share to Americans, but they're not willing to say that to other people of other countries who take advantage of us. It's interesting how that works, isn't it?
Yep. And JD Vance was on one of the news programs talking about this as well. Here he is.
The problem with this whole idea that they're going to retaliate is they have already been taking advantage of America for decades. The retaliation is Donald Trump saying no more. We're not going to be taken advantage of anymore. And I think it's important the president is doing what he's doing. Now, look, it looks different ways and comes in different forms, whether you're talking about Canada or China or Mexico. We know that Mexico has allowed the facilitation of the illegal drug trade and illegal sex trafficking for years and has done nothing about it. If they want to be a better partner to us, the time starts now. We know the Chinese, of course, have stolen American manufacturing jobs for 30, 40 years, and also that they've facilitated the trafficking of illegal fentanyl into Mexico, where the drug cartels then bring it into our country. We are sick of being taken advantage of. We still have, thank God, the biggest economy in the entire world, the best people and the best workers. But the message from President Trump to the entire world is very clear. We are done being taken advantage of, and we have a president who looks out for the interests of American citizens. Thank God we do, and we're going to try to do it the best we can.
God, he is such an upgrade from Mike Pence.
Oh my God.
I mean, is he not, you guys? Like,
Such
what
an
a freaking glow up we've gotten in the vice president. Oh my gosh. He just nails
We really
every
did.
dismount in every interview. And I'm always like, 10.0. So good.
So good.
Good.
And it does work, you guys. Check this out.
Companies are moving production to the U.S. Trump's 25% tariffs on Canadian imports are potentially taking effect this Saturday. And Canadian food companies say that they can't afford to stay. Flourish Pancakes and Midday Squares, which are two of Canada's fastest growing food startups, were set to expand their operations here. But with U.S. sales making up most of their growth, they're now looking at Ohio, Wisconsin, and Missouri instead. And they're not alone. A KPMG survey found that nearly half of Canadian businesses are considering shifting their investment and operations to the U.S. It's not just about tariffs. Canada's higher costs, fewer funding opportunities, and a less competitive retail market make it harder for companies to scale. Meanwhile, the U.S. offers cheaper production, easier access to capital, and better retail exposure. If this trend continues, how much more of Canada's manufacturing base will move south?
Isn't that interesting? Huh. Oh.
Well, looky there. Looky there, everybody.
That lady needs to cut it out.
But there's still naysayers like Chuck Schumer. He wants to warn everybody that ahead of the Super Bowl, you're going to be paying more for these two items.
Just take Super Bowl Sunday, okay? It's going to affect beer, okay? Most of it, Corona here, comes from Mexico.
First time he's ever held a beer.
It's going to affect your guac.
Oh,
because what is guacamole made of? Avocados, both from Mexico.
Thanks, Chuck. Oh my God, what a dork that guy is. Where are avocados made? They're made in Mexico. Really? Thanks,
So
Chuck.
I guess we're supposed to be scared.
We're all
I'm not.
shaking.
I'm not scared of that.
I'm
Nobody
not-
drinks Corona.
Not at all. Right. Meanwhile, we're all like, "What do you? I don't know. Amstel Light. What do you drink? What do you guys drink? I don't Guinness. What do you drink?
So here's the video that I told you about from, I think, an oil worker who wants to explain to Americans and Canadians how oil trade works. And this I thought was so interesting. It runs a little bit long, worth it.
You're not going to like how this goes. Fun fact, spent 4 years in the North Dakota oil fields. First year was as a flowback operator. The next 3 years was as a lease operator, or a pumper, as it were. Yep, 4 years of oil field work in the great state of North Dakota. Oofta. So does the United States purchase a lot of Canadian oil exports? Survey says yes. We actually purchase 97% of the oil that you guys export. And that 97% of oil exports from Canada that we purchase in the United States, that accounts for 81% of your guys' entire oil production. Now, for some reason, you got it in your head that we desperately need to purchase this oil from you. Our oil and energy sector is going to die without Canadian exports. No, it's not. There's a very specific reason we purchase so much. It's because you guys sell that oil to us at a discount. Why would Canada sell so much oil at a discount? Well, simply put, it's because about 75% of your guys' total oil production is sour heavy crude. Oh, well, why doesn't Canada just refine their oil, eh? It's because you guys can't. Your refineries can't handle sour crude. And you guys don't even have the money to maintain or build the infrastructure that it would take to transport this oil across your own country. And that's if you were able to refine it in the first place. So the reason why we get to purchase the lion's share of your oil production at a highly discounted rate is because it's raw fucking oil. And sour oil, packed full of H2S gas, which is the second most lethal gas on the planet, right next to what happens when you burn it. So, because it's so heavily discounted, we actually save money by purchasing your exported oil versus just refining our own oil coming out of the Bakken Shale, which accounts for 61% of our oil production, which is sour heavy crude as well. Now factor in that crude oil accounts for 16% of anything that Canada exports, and we buy 97% of that. Who's going to be hurting more economically if we just stop buying that raw oil from you and deal with refining our own shit? Crude oil by itself is a $124 billion a year industry in Canada, by the way. Just selling raw oil down the Keystone Pipeline to American refineries. $124 billion. Canada, you guys do not have the leverage that you think you do economically. And quite frankly, the United States is tired of playing nice and letting you bend us over the table and going in with no lube economically. So I'll say it again for the people in the back. If you guys just stopped ripping us off, you wouldn't be looking down the barrel of a 25% tariff. We're not bullying you. We're just making shit equitable on both sides. So get your shit together or figure out just how big of a boot in the ass you guys are going to get if you try to go into a trade war with the United States. Have a day!
Yeah. And now we have somebody in charge who understands that.
Right.
Because a lot of the people that were there, all the people that were there before had no clue. And they didn't care. And they didn't care about energy independence. They didn't care about any of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
They didn't care. Trump gets it. He knows it. And he's just like, okay, we're going to go ahead and we're going to roll the dice and we're going to do this. And a lot of people don't understand it, but I don't care. We're going to do it. And this is a guy, let's just face it, you guys. This is a guy that's been indicted, shot at, treated like crap. He doesn't care. He cares about us. He cares about his family. He cares about us. He doesn't care. He has no craps left to give. And that is my kind of leader. Because when it comes to like the risk taking, the entrepreneurialism that he has under his belt, plus all of that other stuff he's been through, oh my God, it is on like Donkey Kong. It's on.
He's a force for sure.
Yeah.
And the only thing that gives me the tiniest bit of pause is that Pierre Poilievre is hurt by this. And I love him so much. And so the fact that he is hurt by it, like, hurts my soul a little bit. Obviously we should still do it.
Right.
But there's a couple clips. He was asked about this in a presser. And he was first asked, can Canada win a trade war against the United States? And here's what he said.
Zoltan True North. Question is, do you believe that tit-for-tat tariffs with the United States could lead to a trade war that Canada cannot win?
I believe we're already in a trade war, and I believe no one will win. I think both countries will lose. And that's my message to our American friends. Why? Why would you want both of our countries to lose a trade war when we have the most successful trading, security, and geographical relationship that any two countries have ever had in the history of the world? Why would you want us to lose, both of us? Because that's what's going to happen. This will make America poorer,
No, it won't.
weaker, and less safe.
Not true.
Will Canada lose? Of course. We're both going to lose. So let's stop losing on both sides of the border. Let's hammer out our differences and actually trade more. That would be a winning solution to all of this. And that is the message that I will bring as we put Canada first.
Hi, Jared Yeager here from the Western Standard. And if you could answer in French and English, please. So just hours ago, Trump said on Truth Social he believed Canada would, quote, cease to exist as a viable country, unquote, without the U.S., and hinted again that he won't end the tariffs until we become the 51st state. So I want to know, at what point is Canada's relationship with the US beyond repair? And is there even a path forward for reasonable negotiation with someone like him at the other end of the table?
Our friendship with the Americans is not based on any one politician. It is based on our centuries-long history of trade, of friendship, of common defense, of fighting on the battlefield, arms locked together against common enemies. We will continue to build that friendship with the people of the United States. But let me be clear, we are an independent and we are a proud nation. And we will come through this an independent and a proud sovereign nation. We will not back down. We will not cease. We will continue to march forward as proud Canadians. Thank you.
You know, it's kind of like being in a relationship with a guy who's a deadbeat. He's kind of good looking. You know what I mean? You've let him hang on for a while. It's fine. You know what I mean? He's fine. He's fine. He's good looking. But it's played. It's played. You know what I mean? It's run its course and you're kind of like, I cannot do this any longer. I cannot let this guy take advantage of me because he's not working and I'm the only one working here. And it's like, I need, not that I've had any experience with this at all, but it's like, you know what I mean? But like, you've got to move on. You got to figure out a way to not let this dysfunctional relationship just keep going. And you can tell that Pierre, like, he's like, crap. I gotta figure out a way to, because he seems like a decent man. He's decent enough.
He's super decent. Yeah.
He's a decent guy, but it's
he's
like
the only thing that I'm sad about because I hate for his feelings to be hurt because I love him.
But you can tell deep down, I think there's a part of him that knows that we're right.
He does. I think he does.
He knows we're right.
He's putting on the good face. You know?
He is. And he's like, they're going to be poor. We're not going to be poor, Pierre. We're going to be much better off if we do this. We're going to be much better off. And you're not. And that sucks for you because you seem like there's some good qualities there. But, you know, it's a deadbeat thing that's happening here. It's dysfunctional. We got to like end the dysfunction. We do.
Anyway, that's what's going on with the trade war. So we're in it. It's happening. And we'll see. We'll keep an eye on it. We'll see what keeps happening. We'll look at the prices of avocados, I guess.
Yeah.
We also need to talk about what happened over the weekend with the DNC leadership. So they had their big, like everybody who was vying to be DNC chair or vice chair. They had all these forums and all these meetings and all this hullabaloo taking place over the weekend. We covered a little bit of it last week already. But there's so much funny stuff to get to from what happened this weekend. The first thing is the weirdos from MSNBC, Simone Sanders, Jen Psaki, the reason for my name today, and Jonathan Capehart did like this sort of behind the scenes, getting ready for the DNC forum and prepping everybody for what they were going to ask all of the candidates. They didn't have makeup or hair for this behind the scenes moment. And they all look absolutely horrific, particularly Jen Psaki, who looks like she just woke up and like got out of bed to make this video. You guys, behold.
Howdy, Simone Sanders Townsend here. Hi, I'm Jen Psaki.
Hey everyone, I'm Jonathan Capehart coming to you from Gaston Hall in Healy Hall at Georgetown University.
We, myself, Jonathan Capehart, and Jen Psaki are co-moderating the DNC Chairs Forum,
where we're going to hear from all of the remaining candidates who are running for DNC chair.
On their vision for where they would lead the party if they're voted in as the next DNC chair.
Look, I know sometimes people in Washington, D.C. can get a little too inside baseball, and there are critics out there that say, oh, this race is very insidery, it doesn't matter. But it actually does. It's actually very important. The next DNC chair and the leadership that is elected 2 days from now, they're going to decide how the primary process goes the next time Democrats select a Democratic nominee and attempt to take back the presidency in 2028. So it's actually very important. This person will have outsized influence in a party that, you know, frankly, doesn't have a clear leader right now.
I'm really excited about asking them about a range of things. Clearly, the Democratic Party needs to figure out a better way to more aggressively message moving forward, to be more fearless. I want to hear what ideas they have for that. I also want to hear how they're going to raise money. Raising money and funding state parties is a big part of what the DNC chair does. And I want to see what differences they have. There are differences between all these candidates. That's interesting and important for us to pull out tonight, and I think we're all focused on that.
I'm really interested in how they're going to combat misinformation and disinformation. Some talk about it specifically on their websites. Others have things that are kind of general. this is the opportunity for me to ask them specifically what they're going to do.
So that was a little intro, behind the scenes intro. And then you guys, the actual voting process. Oh my God, they were so confused about their own process that there were multiple people standing up at multiple times going, so wait, how does the first round vote work? How does this? And the reason that they were so confused is because they have all these gender rules about the vote. Here's just a little bit of how it was supposed to work. This is the exiting chairman, Jamie Harrison, trying to explain the voting rules.
The rules specify that when we have a gender non-binary candidate or officer, the non-binary individual is counted as neither male nor female, and the remaining 6 offices must be gender balanced. With the results of the previous 4 elections, our elected officers are currently 2 male and 2 female. In order to be gender balanced, we must elect 1 male, 1 female, and 1 person of any gender. Our second ballot would also be for a candidate of any gender. Then our third ballot will be the third position that is remaining based on the 2 results. Either a male candidate if a candidate that is not male has not been elected, or a female candidate if a female has not been elected.
Oh God.
That is real life. That's real life.
These people are insane. They have learned nothing.
Nothing.
Oh my God. I mean, they are doubling down in their dumbassery, you guys. Doubling and tripling and quadrupling down. They're so ridiculous. It's such ridiculousness.
Yeah. It's insane. And it gets worse because, I mean, your point is that they're doubling down. Here's a recent interview with that same exiting chairman being asked for real if they would consider making Kamala the nominee again. Kamala, you guys, here's what he said.
Should Kamala Harris run again? If she wants to. You think she could win?
Oh my God.
I believe she can. I mean, if I didn't believe Kamala Harris could win, I wouldn't have worked as hard as I did to help her win this last time around. You know, Donald Trump, and when you look at politics, Donald Trump and Barack Obama are just enigmas in politics. I think they do something different to the electorate every time they run that you can't counter. But then when they are not on the ballots, it's almost like you go back to the political gravity pulls people right back into it. That's part of how we won with how well we did in the midterms.
There's so much stupidity there.
It just gets worse and worse.
I could, like, run her. Go ahead and run her.
Please
Idiots.
do. Please do.
Everything that's holy, run her again. I can, because can you imagine her running against like JD Vance and like Ron DeSantis? Yes, run her.
Please do it. Please. When they took opening statements from all the people that were running from DNC chair, the woman that we played a little clip of last week, Quintessa, somebody or other, like, you cannot make this up, you guys. For her opening statement, she chose to do at least part of it in song.
Why don't you kick off the opening statements?
All right. Thank you very much, Jen. And we'll begin with the opening statements. Each candidate will have 30 seconds, and we'll start with Dr. Quintessa Hathaway.
Of course, yes.
Good evening, everyone. It is my desire to be the next DNC chair, and I just want to give you all a little bit of something that's been on my heart here over the last couple of days.
Oh, for the love of God.
You fight on, you fight on, you fight on, you fight on. When your government is doing you wrong, you fight on, oh, you fight on.
That's for real. That was real life.
Oh my God, this is a Saturday Night Live skit. I am dying. I can't.
Spoiler alert, she did not win.
Oh my God, but she was this close, you guys.
So close.
Close.
My favorite part about who won is that it was 2 white guys. Okay, there's another white guy leading the DNC, and then freaking David Hogg is one vice chair.
If you want to call him a guy, I mean, do we really want to call David Hogg a guy? But you're right. Two white guys. Two white guys. Diversity, you guys.
It's all they care about. It's so important to them to have it. Here's a little bit of David Hogg and his whatever this was.
Thank you, Dr. Hathaway. Next up, Faz Shakir.
I'm not going to follow that, but
David Hogg.
What a shit show. This is crazy. Oh my God. I'm loving all of this.
I know. It's so great. This is
so
gift.
juicy.
First of all, thank you, Chairman Harrison. Can we give a round of applause to Jamie?
You can't with those arms.
Thank you. Thank you. Who's ready to take the fight to the Republicans and win this thing? Are you guys ready to fight? It's been a long day, but guess what? We have a long road ahead. Let's go and kick some ass.
Oh my God. My 15-year-old daughter could kick your ass. Seriously? Have you seen yourself? Oh my God.
I know. I'm so disappointed in Wonder Woman. Linda Carter tweeted, "My friend, David Hogg, congratulations on becoming DNC vice chair. You are a man of courage, tenacity, and empathy. Love, Linda Carter."
I feel like the man thing is stretching it. It's really,
it's a big
if they wanted to be diverse, they should have picked Hilaria Baldwin. Because then they would have had a Hispanic, right?
Oh my God.
Hilaria would have been a good choice, don't you think?
It could have been an interesting choice.
Yeah.
I don't think she was in the running.
No,
but who knows? She could have been.
Because they don't have any Hispanics on stage.
I didn't even look to see what the other people, I don't even know who else was on stage. All of them were a complete shit show, though. It was
totally the whole
and then
thing.
the people, I mean, the fact that David Hogg is vice chair along with somebody else, and then that the actual DNC chair, a guy by the name of Ken Martin, this guy is such a weenie. You guys, I cannot believe that they have handed these leaders on a platter to us. It is the greatest choices that they could have made for the GOP. And first, before we get to Ken Martin, because you got to hear some clips from him, we also have to show this picture, which I legit did not know if it was photoshopped or not when I first saw it. What? I had no idea he was this tall or that she was this short. She's wearing something that kids wear to kindergarten. You know what I mean?
And somebody said, I saw this on Twitter, and somebody said he's against arms and also against legs. I was like, that's so true.
I mean, it looks like somebody like photoshopped him to be extra skinnier. You know what I mean? But I think it's real.
No, it's totally real. This is what he looks like. The only thing they're missing in the leadership of the DNC is Harry Sisson. If they could just have the trifecta of all three of these weenie beta males, it would just be on a platter for us. On a platter.
Right?
Like there's just absolutely, there is zero testosterone in any of these dudes. Zero.
No, you're absolutely right.
It's just crazy.
And here's a great example. So Ken Martin, who ultimately won, this is, not recent, but like, I think it was last year. He said, yes, I'm 47. Yes, I made a TikTok. Yes, my kids are mortified, but this just goes to show how excited I am for President Biden's America Rescue Plan. Here's the TikTok that he made.
Oh my God.
This is the leader of the Democrats.
Oh my God, I cannot. These guys have never been with women. Never. He had a daughter. There's no way. There's no way that daughter was conceived naturally. No way. I can't believe it.
I know.
Nope.
Also, this is an older clip of him as well. Or maybe this one is recent. I can't remember how old this one is, but I got a couple clips to share from him just saying the most ridiculous shit. So here he is talking about how the DNC is perfectly delighted to accept donations from good billionaires. I mean, they hate billionaires, okay? But there are some good ones. Here he is to explain.
Good billionaires out there that have been with Democrats who share our values, and we will take their money, but we're not taking money from those bad billionaires.
No. First of all, his wife has a boyfriend. You know she does. Second of all, I mean,
or a girlfriend at this point. I don't
either
even
one.
know.
It doesn't even matter. But she's got something on the side. Second of all, they are saying the obvious out loud. Like he just said it out loud. You guys just heard it about the billionaires. And also, I think Bad Billionaires would be a good name for a ska band. Don't you guys think? It's like now opening up for the Butthole Surfers. It's Bad Billionaires. Don't you think?
Well, I'm just super grateful that he recognizes his white privilege.
So I have to admit that I have my own white privilege here, and but that doesn't prevent me from seeing the phobias that exist throughout our communities, both in Minnesota and, frankly, throughout this country.
That's the DNC chair.
There's so much soy. I can't. It makes me uncomfortable. I can't be around like men like this. And it just to see them, I'm uncomfortable. I can't. I like real men, so it just makes me very uneasy. I can't because there's so much. It's like soy and oat, and coconut milk. So much of it.
Just that's what's feeding. That's what's running in their veins.
All of it
is just soy.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I mean, that's our DNC chair. Congratulations to the GOP, for real, because that is a gift. Everything that just happened this weekend is a gift to the GOP.
God. It's like, that's the thing. It's like, if you're a woman, or even if you're just a dude, and it's like, who do you identify with? Do you identify with men or
whatever
beta,
that was?
or whatever those are? What do you identify with? It's like, because listen, there has been a drop in testosterone over the past couple decades. They studied those men.
Yeah.
They were in the study. They were the study.
And they probably studied this guy who has an interesting new way for men to protest.
So I just found out women wore red lipstick back in World War II in order to protest what was happening. Because apparently Hitler hated when women wore red lipstick.
I can't.
It was subordination.
I can't.
And for Europeans and Americans, it was a sign of victory.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you know what I'm going to do?
We know.
I'm going to be rocking red lipstick the next 4 years. So whoever wants to join me, let's fucking do it.
We know who you're going to do.
Fuck you, dumpster! You know, I'm sure a bunch of men wearing red lipstick everywhere will probably piss off a lot of people.
This is real. Oh, wait, that's his second day. He means it, you guys. He's doing
day 2. Day 2. He obviously doesn't have a job, this guy. God, what an idiot. What a complete idiot. Seriously, I'm not kidding about the testosterone levels like declining in America. They've steadily declined for the past couple decades. Mm-hmm. And there's no rhyme or reason to it. People can talk about, oh, it's the food and all that kind of stuff, but they've declined. These are examples of that. Like, can you imagine in the 80s dudes doing that?
I cannot. And the 80s were a better time because of it.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Speaking of crazy dudes, you sent this to me. Blame it on her, you guys. Blame what you're about to see on Daisy. This is not my fault. Most everything else is, but this is not my fault. Here is somebody who is not coping well with the current political landscape.
Everything's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Everything's okay.
Yeah, this is why people stable. This is why people carry you guys, is because of lunatics like that. And I bet you Selena would love that guy, because same kind of psyche, right? It's like you set up a camera and then you take a video of yourself freaking out or in an emotional breakdown. Same kind of psyche.
It's so narcissistic. Like, it's just the most narcissistic thing to do ever.
It is. He's literally the same as Selena. She is the same as him. I feel the same way about those two people. It's nuts. You are nuts if you film yourself doing that.
Oh my gosh. All right. So speaking of crazy liberals, we've got a couple, and then we're going to do some brain bleach to just get rid of all this crazy.
Yeah.
Before we even get to talks, we'll have some nice brain bleach for you. You probably will recognize this woman, even if you don't recognize her name. It's Julie Roginski or Roginski. I'm not sure how to say her name, but she's a Democrat strategist of some sort that they have on MSNBC a lot. And she is a moron. So she's one of these Democrats who has decided all of a sudden, now that Trump is president, to care about the price of things that were increased during the Biden administration and the Democrats' last 4 years. But my favorite part of this clip about her, she's talking about the price of apples. Here, I'm just going to play what she says about the price of apples, and then you guys will know how ridiculous it is.
Right? Apples have gone up every single week that he's been in office. Where are the Democrats talking about that? Where are they talking about the price increase? I mean, fundamental easy lobs. Again, this is not swinging at every pitch from some ace pitcher. This is literally reminding the American people what was promised to them and what is being delivered.
Apples have gotten more expensive every week of Trump's presidency. He's on week 2.
Week 2. For 2 whole weeks. Oh my God, the apples. The apples.
I just can't make this up, you guys. You can't make it up.
And then for 4 years, they said nothing.
Yeah,
Nothing.
then it was fine. Everything was fine.
For 4 years and everything was expensive and everything. Yeah, nothing.
Right. I mean, and just to prove how absolutely out of their minds they are, Jasmine Crockett, that horrific, awful
in Dallas,
Jasmine Crockett lady,
the spiders on her eyes. Yeah.
So she is putting out into the ether that because Trump is so anti-DEI, she's now worried that when it comes to getting your tax refund, if you're owed money from the IRS, if you are a person of color, you may not get it. That's what she's trying to fearmonger now. Is that if you're a black or brown person, because of Trump, you may not get your tax refund. For real, this is what she's saying.
It is really awful. And I know right now people are asking whether or not their IRS refund checks are going to be affected. We don't know if this is more DEI. Are you going to say if it's somebody that's a person of color, then for some reason, whatever they paid in to the federal government, they're not allowed to get it back? Like, we don't know, but there is no reason for any political appointee, if you can even call him that, to have this kind of access.
Yeah. She's like, we don't know, but I'm going to say it anyway. Also, like Elon's going to be like, hey, I'm in charge of refund checks, which he's not.
Right. I mean,
and he's going to be like,
stupid.
And furthermore, is this person black? We're not going to give it back to this person because this person's black. What a complete hag. She's a lying hag. I cannot believe she's in charge of anything.
And she's probably somebody that's complained about mis and disinformation.
Right. I just cannot with these people.
I know. Okay, one more thing that will make you crazy before we get to the good stuff, and that is Michael Knowles spotlit, one of the folks that does man on the street interviews to show how absolutely uneducated, unfortunately, so many American young people are. And this is just so sad in so many ways, but he also does it funny. I mean, because Michael Knowles is funny, so he's got a lot of added little bonus clips in here. Check this out.
How many stars are on the United States flag?
103?
103?
100.
Yeah.
Obama would have said 57.
I've now been in 57 states.
What ocean is on the east side of the United States?
What ocean? Can I Google it?
You guys know this.
I know this. I don't know this.
What country is the Queen of England from?
Oh my God.
I'm not a politics guy. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know. I really don't know.
Just take a guess. Like, what country is the Queen of England from?
Europe? I don't know. I don't know.
What's the capital of the United States?
There's a capital?
I feel like I'm dying inside.
What?
Yes.
Lexi?
Take a guess.
I don't know. Probably California.
God.
Radical. Practically speaking, I think it is probably California.
Practically speaking.
We're so screwed,
We're doomed.
you guys.
We're doomed, you guys. We're doomed. Mhm. Yeah.
All right, let's have fun things to sort of take away
Please.
the horrificness of that. One of the
Please.
things is that you sent we meant to get to this last week. I always save everything you send. Don't worry. And we do get to it eventually. And here's one of those things that Daisy found that was super, super neat because it's like one of those flashback videos of Trump playing tennis against Serena Williams in full suit.
In
you guys,
it was 2015, wasn't it? 2015.
Was it 2015? Okay.
I think it was. I think it was.
I don't know the
2015.
circumstances. No idea how
Right.
this happened or why, but here it is.
And Donald Trump is always where the cameras are when it involves making money. And today at Lowe's Island in Sterling, Virginia, he opened the Tennis Performance Center. Trump volleyed with Serena Williams, shoes off, coat on. Donald Trump showing he's got some game. Some,
forehand
little.
was
It's
awesome.
right there at the Trump National Club. Both are tremendous facilities. It was good to see him out there, and the fans seemed to enjoy
His
it.
forehand is really good.
That's amazing.
It is amazing.
He's in a suit.
Yeah, he took his shoes off. He's like, I gotta take my shoes off because it's hindering me from really hitting this backhand. I mean, his backhand could use a little work, but his forehand is phenomenal. He's playing against Serena freaking Williams. I mean,
Yeah, he's a little off on the backhand. Still.
but he's in a suit.
Right.
can't.
He's in a full suit.
Yeah,
He doesn't have the same range as she does.
Listen, he's out there. I was watching this going, wow, he's good. You know, if he was
Is there
in
nothing he
shorts-
can't do?
I know. And that was like 2015. So that was when he was like 70. He was like 70.
And fully dressed. Like,
And-
that's just absolutely incredible.
In a suit, right? It's
It
no
just
big
doesn't
deal.
even make any
It's no
sense.
big
It's
deal. He's
fine.
just playing
Everything's
tennis in a suit. It's fine. Right.
There is a new ad from our sponsor XXXY, the sponsor of ours who we love, who has stood up for girls and women's sports since the beginning. And when they do ads, which isn't all the time, but when they do them, they are so good. And here's the
Phenomenal.
latest. People are saying, "Oh my gosh, you got to play this during the Super Bowl." And Jennifer Say, who's the CEO of XXXY, she's like, that would cost $8 million.
Right.
And we don't have
We don't
that,
have
but
it.
maybe if you just make this video as viral as possible, we'll still get the same number of eyeballs on it. So we wanted to do our part to share it. Here it is.
Sia, Leahy are in hot water over their transphobic comments. And I just gotta say, who cares if biological males play in women's sports? Just be inclusive.
Could not agree more. This is just a bunch of fear-mongering from right-wing bigots.
I'm just gonna say it, she's a bigot.
She's been a massive distraction from her team with her hate-filled rhetoric. Sia is not inclusive. And males invading women's sports isn't even a problem, as far as I'm concerned.
These female athletes just need to work harder.
And not blame others for their lack of success.
Transphobe.
As the captain, Sia is very much responsible for these boycotts, which have cost her team a playoff bid.
Guess we'll see how Sia handles all that pressure tonight.
So good.
So freaking good. Good. I got to let my daughter
Love it.
see that. We were talking this week. She's got regionals this weekend. And I was like, how many hours? Have you ever added up how many hours you spend a week in like just swimming? And she said, yeah, it's almost 20, Mom, in addition to school, in addition to everything else. So I think it's like 19.5. She added it up. That's a lot of freaking time that these girls spend just honing their craft. You know what I mean? Working on they're just doing what they do. Yep. That's a lot of time. I don't do that. I can't imagine. That's a lot of time. And then to have that taken away, to have opportunities taken away, which a lot of these girls are getting opportunities taken away by these boys, these biological boys that come in and they just take them away. They take college scholarships away. They take medals away. They take championship. It's not okay.
Mm-hmm. It's not okay. And good for XXXY for being in the fight from the very, very get-go.
Yep.
You can find that ad if you would like to share it separately. Go to Jennifer Sey, SEY on X. She's posted it there. And check out thetruthfits.com. All right. It's time for some talks today. And there's a surprise in here that you're going to die at because I don't know what I saw it. Somebody sent it to us and you're going to see it and it's amazing. But first, if you are somebody who would be interested in trying micro needling, which I think is that, it's that facial thing that they call the vampire, like where they just make you bleed, I guess. Mm-hmm. I don't understand it. Anyway, if you are interested in trying it, but maybe can't afford it, here is the poor man's option.
Oh my God.
Is that not the greatest?
What do they call it? Making biscuits? They call it
making biscuits.
Making biscuits.
That's got to hurt though, because that cat has full on claws.
I know.
Those were, and she
was. I need a cat that makes biscuits on my face.
You won't like it on your face, but like somewhere where you have clothing as a layer of protection, it feels kind of nice.
What a kind of nice, sweet kitty.
Okay, so this is you're gonna know which friend is who. Like you're gonna know, but in this video, there's somebody that's Daisy and there's somebody that's Mock. Okay, and you're gonna know right away which one is which. They only show one person, but you'll know which one is which and what they're talking about here. Here we go.
Look at this. Look at this photograph. Every time it makes me laugh. You gotta be something, you gotta be awesome, yeah. You don't even know the words. Well, if we're going over, we should probably bring like a bottle of red. Bottle of white. Maybe a bottle of fucking rosé instead tonight. Please don't sing the whole song. Well, if it makes you happy, I guess. If it makes you happy.
Yeah. We
just
all know.
Stop. Just stop. You crying on the motherfucking side of the time.
I'm totally driving. I'm absolutely driving. It's always, and I always drive. Right. I'm always driving, you guys. Always. If we go on any sort of road trip, if it's like 18 hours long, she's like, here are the keys. Even if it's my car, here are the keys. When I go to visit her in May, which I'm going to be visiting in May, I will be driving her car the whole time.
Oh, without question.
Yeah.
You're going to drive us home from the airport when we pick you up.
Yeah. It's never driving Miss Daisy. It's always driving Miss Mock. Always.
Totally. And I always do. Like, if you say something to me that makes me think of a song, I'm going to sing it. You guys, I'm going to sing it.
She belted out. Yeah.
And this is correct.
And one of the reasons I have to drive is because she has to control the radio because she's like the DJ in the car so she can do all that crap. Right.
Yeah, it's true. And one piece of evidence and one reason that I found that particular TikTok so hilarious is because one of our followers, Susan Johnson, dug up this old clip of us from when you were in the cabin. Okay. You were doing the show from the cabin and we were doing an ad. We were doing an ad for Omaha Steaks. I completely forgot about this, okay, until she sent it. And here's an example of how I like to create songs out of things. You know what I was trying to think of? Because, of course, we still have this amazing special with Omaha Steaks. I was trying to think of a song about steaks, and I was thinking that maybe we could talk about steak your groove thing, steak your groove thing, yeah. That's the best I could do.
That is not, I don't think you should have done that. I don't. You should have run that.
Stake it off. Stake it off.
You should have totally run both of those by me before you did that because we're you totally should have. And I would have been like,
oh my God, no.
Ixnay on the ong say. You probably don't want to do the songs.
Oh my God. Anyway, I'd completely forgotten that clip was
everybody today is going to be like, stake your groove thing. Stake your groove thing. Yeah, right? Yeah. Don't do that, Mock. Don't do that ever again.
Oh my God. Anyway, I thought that was hilarious. Also, remember we've played a zillion videos from Casper, the singing dog, the dog who always interrupts. Casper's got some competition now, apparently, with this dog.
Some love through our words. All right, you gotta let me go first. Okay, you gotta wait. You gotta wait. Okay. Through words. You need to let me go. Okay? They want to hear me talk too. Through words of affirmation. Today will be. Enzo, you repeat after me, okay? You don't even know the words after.
Okay, that dog is cute.
That's Enzo, and he's a talker.
He's really cute.
He's pretty cute. He's not a sing-song dog like Casper.
No, he just wants to talk.
He just wants to be the one to talk. Also, this is just a cool, we're past the age where we have our own babies. Like, I'm hopeful that at some point I will have a grandbaby. You have grandbabies. This is the coolest hack ever that I've ever seen. Would you look at this? So this is a little pillow that you side sleep your baby and then you wrap the hand around. But look at what the hand does.
Can you even? They didn't have any of the stuff when we had babies. None of the stuff. You should see some of the stuff that they have for babies now, Mock. It's like you don't even have to really parent. You can literally leave the room with your kid with the stuffed animal, and it's so easy. Everything's so easy now. They've got cribs.
Amazing.
They have cribs that like rock and shake and like do. It's so different now as a parent.
Oh my God. I've never seen anything like that. I had never seen anything like that. I think you've seen this video because I saw your little like on it on Instagram. There's I guess it's a filter where there's 4 quadrants and you do a selfie and you start with quadrant 1, 2, 3, 4. You go in this order and you take a still photo of yourself. And after you do 4 poses, you end up looking like you're flying like Superman. And this fellow had an interesting twist on becoming Superman.
Balls.
It could not be more fitting for this program.
That's right. Balls.
Okay, and then lastly, we have a dog who is very confused by how mirrors work. And this is just absolutely precious.
Thunder. Hi, Daisy.
Oh.
Daisy. Hi. You gotta come here. Daisy.
He doesn't understand.
Come here. Daisy. Daisy, come here.
Oh my gosh, she doesn't know how to get there. Oh my God. Bless her little heart.
Hi. Come here. You gotta turn around.
Oh my gosh.
No, Daisy. Come here.
Not the sharpest knife in the
There you
drawer.
go.
But
Hi, girl.
so cute.
No.
Oh, no.
Hi.
So confused. So very confused.
Isn't that the sweetest?
The cutest.
Oh my gosh. All right. We've got thank yous from The Weeknd, a couple of Venmos, one from Jay Fisher, who said, Patel hearing, why are they holding up money?
Foam core beds?
For 10
seconds?
Secs. Deep state peeps, etc. I don't know what that means. Would it not be more money friendly to have a big monitor and all of their boards are Canvas slides like the rest of the world? Is it 2001? And then there was a second one from the same person who said, plus aren't all those one-time use foam core beds? Is it beds? I have no idea what's happening. Terrible for their precious environment.
I don't know.
I know. Shh, they're there. Love you jerks. XO. I don't know what that
means either.
I don't know what the foam core things are.
I don't either.
I have no idea. I'm unfamiliar with those.
Yeah, me too.
This morning, Lisa Rhodes said regarding the red lipstick guy, maybe we should all send him some MAGA Red 47.
That would be awesome.
We could. Lori Mazamuro said, good morning, ladies. Please pray for my friends. Their daughter who had CP passed away yesterday morning. Thank you. This makes me really extra sad. Over on Locals, Connie MJ said, I read somewhere that Rebecca spent the last 2 years in the Biden White House. Not sure what to make of that. She's talking about the pilot. Rebecca was in like an aid program that's actually of some prestige that didn't have anything to do with flying. But I don't know if that matters or not, that she was an aide in the Biden White House. I don't know. I don't know how that matters. But anyway, that is part of her history. Dolly Duck said, hi, ladies. My last name is Heyman. I live in Taylor. That's the reason for my business name, Taylor Soapworks. Love y'all. Oh, Taylor. Okay, so that must be Christy Heyman from Taylor Soapworks.
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Christy, that I got your name wrong. And now that you're going by Dolly Duck, I'm even more confused. So totally confused, but thank you. Yes. So Christy, it lives in Taylor, hence the name Taylor Soapworks. Got it. All right. Now you.
All right. RSKIBUK, which is Risk-a-Buck, I think.
Risky Buck.
Yes. Groundhog Day, 6 more weeks of winter or 6 more weeks until spring. It's the same thing. Rhonda from Pennsylvania. Thank you. Joe Bitts. Good morning, ladies. Thanks for being right. Thank you, Joe. Michelle Boyd. Good morning, chicks. Mock, I am hooked on Silo. So good. Thank you for suggesting. Love y'all.
So good. So good.
She Picker. Good morning from Texas. I am a bah humbug and think Valentine's Day is stupid. Speaking of stupid, best comment on X. Stupid people are too stupid to know they're stupid. Call me Lori.
Valentine's Day is my favorite day ever.
I know. I used to wear all black on Valentine's Day. I probably still will. It's a Hallmark holiday. But I love the fact that now it's sort of the anniversary that my best friend is stroke free. So I do like it for that reason. I'll probably start wearing red just because of that.
Yay!
Husky Haven Rescue Indy. Thank you. Rachel Ray. He should get some Trump Red 47 lipstick. Yes. And Marcus Drake. Note about that XXXY ad. The gymnast shown is Riley Gaines' sister.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I knew she was an athlete. I forgot that she was a gymnast. Yeah, her younger sister. I think she is around my daughter's age.
Oh, really? Okay. I did not know that. That's so cool.
She's around her age. So yeah, I thought that was kind of cool too. So, okay, you guys, we made it through Monday morning. Everybody have the best Monday ever. And we will talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye, everybody. Bye.
Hello, beautiful people. This is the Chicks on the Right's Indian correspondent. Thank you for watching or listening. Be very sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell to stay up to date on all of their delicious content. Okay, thank you. Come again.